Good morning all, hope you're doing well. You had a nice evening. And so I guess what we'll start with today, we'll look at the robot quickly, the logic for it. Is that what it's doing? It's scanning any currency pair that's going to get close to 50%, and we're going to trade the crossover over 50% or below 50%. If we go over, it's going to mean that they're net long, and so therefore it'd be a sell. If we go below 50%, they'll be net short. Now I think potentially GU might come back up, and it might go back here again. So we might get GU, pound USD, back up here, but we don't know for sure. All we know is that it will just capture it when it moves. So if it does, it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't really matter too much. We can sit on our hands and wait. It's not really a problem. We had a very good day yesterday. Very, very happy with the results. All the trades went perfect, which is like quite amazing. Now we got 3 pound USD trades that are outstanding, and it looks like they might go to stop loss, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And ideally what would happen here is that they now go long pound USD, so we'll have to wait and see. So let's show you the QDB scores. Let's filter that out, and EC at the top and CAD Swiss at the bottom. We've got very extreme sentiment on Aussie Swiss, Kiwi Swiss and CAD Swiss, so bear that in mind. So there's no one really left to squeeze, so we can see reversals. Okay, and the herd had really sold AJ, EJ, NJ, CJ, GJ. It really went bearish yesterday, and they got pretty punished. So that's how we stand. So we've got cross yen at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, nearly all of them. Dollar yen's up there as well. Okay, so bear that in mind. Risk calculation quickly, and just to say it's if we have a risk off day today, in so much as the herd go long today, it's going to push this down into positive territory, or so I say push it up to positive territory, and that means that the herd are now net long, and they can't be buying on average. They can't be buying indices. It's just not normal. It's very strange. That's wrong about the market. If the herd are conditioned to buy, it's not right. They've got to be conditioned to sell. They've got to be fearful. So this time tomorrow we'll have a good idea about where we stand. But bear in mind that the technical risk calc is okay at 45. We had come off a long way from Friday. We're at 5 out of 100. Now we're at 45. If we go above 50, technically we're okay. So what I'm thinking is that perhaps if we go red here, red, and indicate sell, and then this dumps, it might be an idea to perhaps look for a safe haven in the yen or perhaps the USD. But currently, technically, not bad. Okay, so I'll show you the robot, and this is the GU trade I was on about at the very beginning of the video. There's our stop loss, and it's based on 50% of the ADR, right? So that's where that's that stop loss here from here. So that distance here is halfway of the average daily range. Okay, so it seems that it was probably okay, just about. We were very close. So if it's 51 pips, the average daily range for GU is going to be 102 pips. So it's probably wide enough to cater for that. And it might even be that this was a stop hunt and it made them go long. Perhaps they thought, well, hang on a minute, we're actually looking quite bullish. They're looking at their technicals and they're probably thinking, oh, maybe it is a buy, and then they buy en masse. If this falls, it would be fantastic. Be really happy. Account history. Yeah, so this is the performance from yesterday. Oh, okay, so we had a GU loss. That's fine. Had it not been for that one, we would have been up very nicely, but still it's positive, so it's okay. As you can see, the scalpers in action. The trading stops, it's working, it's fine. So that's today. That was yesterday's profit, so £16 profit, and we're at minus 13. So if we got out now, we'd be up just about a little bit of profit, but you never know. Perhaps they did go long. Perhaps this was a stop hunt and it took some people out, and it made them look like we're going to go higher. So we'll have to wait and see. But that's where our stop is. So the next one is up here, and so we're talking about, you know, £8 loss each time, which isn't really ideal, but you know, maybe we'll be okay. So let's show you the indices. I'm quite excited about this new approach. It's working quite well, but we kind of ideally, we don't really want pound USD to carry on pumping. So here's S&P. That's cool. Okay, right. So it looked like they were going long, and now they're selling it. So this is like, that would be normal. Okay, so that them selling it would be traditionally normal behavior for the herd. Okay, so that's okay. And obviously big resistance up here. I was saying we're going to get to 4,500, possibly fall again, and then that will really trigger the bears. Okay, this is my thinking from last week, is that we were going to inevitably come back up here, and it's going to fall, but then that'll be like the trap. All right, because inevitably we are going to grind higher. But what happened is here that we went to 4,500, and they went really long, and they can't have that again. All right, so it's going to have to fall at 4,500 again, so they don't do this. If they do this, it causes destruction. All right, so they can't be conditioned to buy at the round number, and so that's probably what's going to happen again. 4,500, it will fall very aggressively, and then they'll go, all right, oh, and they'll panic, and then they'll sell it, and then we'll pump. Okay, that's what's going to happen. US 30, see if they're going long or selling it. See, now I'm doing it at just past 8. We're capturing some of the move, some of the proper moves, but we're sideways unfortunately on the US 30. So there's the buy. So we can create a box here. So we've got a box within a box. Okay, perhaps we'll just draw one quickly. We've got a very warm day today in the UK, and I heard it's like really hot in Europe as well. So to keep hydrated and things. So we've got a box within a box, so quite bullish. We obviously created one here for resistance. Yeah. Look where it hit. That's quite interesting. That candle wick. That candle wick. It's interesting, isn't it? So that's where they'd sold it. So price come up, and they went long. Price fell. Let's draw a box quickly. And to be honest with you, if the robot goes to loss, it's not too bad. I still think the approach is good, but we had so much chop, I don't think that would be that normal for a currency pair. I think normally when it gets to 50%, it should just chop, you know, 3 or 4 times, but pound USD did it about 8 times. So I'm not sure if that's normal behaviour. We'll have to study that. So we've got support, resistance. So it might look a bit crazy, but this is what happened, is that they'd sold it, price fell, and they'd sold it, so price rose, and so we probably should be above 34572, but they'll need to sell it here. Okay, DAX, now they were going long. They can't be going long. They can't be. Right, cool. Okay, that's fine. So we haven't got the crossover yet, but we possibly will. We'll have to wait and see. And they'd sold it here, so we can create a box. A very thin box, I think. Yeah, hit this one. And I just got over a cold as well, so I was taking it very easy yesterday. I didn't mind yesterday. It was quite relaxing. I didn't open any trades, and I had quite a stress-free day. It was quite nice. But today I might be looking at maybe pound USD, depending on what happens with the sentiment. Perhaps if it goes over 50%, I might short it on my account, on my trading account. So that's fine, right? So they'd sold it here, so we should be above, and that's what it is. But ideally we don't want them to be buying. They need to be selling it, and it will confirm that move. Gold inevitably had to break. It just had to, because it was just in a huge downtrend, and we would have been oversold on the RSI and things like that, and the stochastics were oversold. In all those technical instruments saying, no, we'd probably overdone it a little bit, you know, just complete selling the whole time. And it looks like we're breaking this trend line, and they'd really sold it. I was saying in Discord that some gurus were saying, oh, we're going much lower, we've got a gap fill to get to, So it's a good job I don't trade those gap fills, because they can get you in trouble, especially if you're just like just using that logic. You're forgetting about the other things like the technicals. So we had a technical break and a sentimental buy. Fundamentally, I don't know if it would have made that much sense because the yields were pumping. So perhaps, well, actually, I say that the 3 month and the 6 month did decline, which I might be able to show you. Here, these two came down. So perhaps fundamentally it did make sense. So these two had come down, the 3 month and the 6 month, but those all rose. But perhaps because these two fell, it might have been a fundamental case. So if you try and get the things to align, then you do okay. But you know, here's the technical break, so buy, and then the sentimental buy. But don't forget it's a risky buy as well. So we might even cross 50%, and then it will be a buy, the big picture. Be careful today, and especially with this. And we'll just have to see it. I'm going to be monitoring the robot like I did yesterday. It was quite relaxing. It was quite good. And if we get the GU and it goes above 50%, I might take it, and obviously look at the stop loss clusters, you know, see where we can target and things like that. So that's what I might do today, but we need to get the sell first. So that's the video done, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.